Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, J.E.M.E.D. This morning we will be jumped up under the theme, the swords, deception. And we would be looking at Exodus chapter 32. And it reads, when the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses, who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Aaron answered them, "Take off your gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me." So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took what they handed him and made it into an idol, cast it into the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, "These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." We're going to pause on verse 4 because even knowing that the Almighty brought them out of Egypt, they are now giving that praise, giving that glory, giving that reference to something else. And a lot of the times, even in this day and age, we do that. So let's say, for example, the Lord used some means to assist us in some way. We choose at that time to indicate that it was not the Lord, but it was the physical means that got us to the position that we're at. And it's giving glory and praise to another versus who actually deserve it. And we see over and over in the Bible that our Heavenly Father abhors it, He is offended by it, right? And He responds, He punishes when it happens. So we see that even when the 10 plagues happened, the Lord indicated that my reason for this is so that I would deliver you with a mighty hand. So there was so much structure put in place for the process of deliverance, just so that He can show off who He is. And then for those same people to flip it and say that it was not Him, to find something else that they can use to say, this is what the deliverance came from, to revert to the methods, the ways, right, of before, because we know that the Egyptians worshipped many gods, right? So when you take into account the fact that, let me just pull up, because I believe that this may also play a key role in part of their worship. Oh, sorry about that. So yes, the cow is actually one of the animals worshipped in Egypt, and it's considered to be very sacred. Let's see what that form of worship was. I'm going to read it, and I'm actually reading it from an Egyptian website. So that would be egyptmythology.com. So if anyone wants to go ahead and verify that information, this is where you can get that information. So the cow is considered to be a major deity, and the symbol is considered to be for creation, for fertility, right? Indicating that the universe itself was born from a primordial cow. And the cow is also seen as a maternal figure. Okay, so they're using it for religious purposes, for festivals, offering of sacrifices. So let's bear in mind they're seeing it as a symbol for fertility and nourishment, connection to the afterlife, and duality of life and death. So we know the connection to the afterlife is our Heavenly Father. He is the eternal being. So they're using what, even though were, they knew better, they lived and were slaves in a place where they worshipped cows. And the cows was a symbol of fertility, nourishment, and also connection to the afterlife. When we know our Heavenly Father is that source. So, quite frankly, they, in my opinion, insulted the actual person. When you think of Exodus and the plagues, for example, when Moses used the rod and then the magicians mimicked it, right? We know that in Egypt they attempted to undermine the the value, the ability, the capability, the sovereignness of our Heavenly Father. So that's why they had the magicians mimic. But as we know, that the rod of Moses swallowed the rod of the magician, which became the snake. And we see that with this mimicking, now they're attempting to take that glory. That was just so sad for me to see that those same people who physically experienced that exodus now equate that victory to some other source. What have the Lord done in your life, in my life, that we're not giving him his rightful honor and praise for, that we're not boasting in him for, when he did it so that he can show off in and through us, so that he can be praised, but yet still we're